Hi, this is Callie Davis, and I'm going to be presenting Technology Planning Analysis, Process, and Content. It's a case study about Forsyth County Schools. So a little bit of background for FCS. This school is a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually located in Cumming, Georgia, near Lake Lanier. We have many school options. We have about 36 total schools, which also includes Gateway Academy and ITEC Virtual School, along with offering lots of courses through Georgia Virtual School, which is part of the Department of Education in Georgia. We have about 46,000 students, and we continue to grow every year. As far as our infrastructure and network, we have an overview of about 12 gigabytes of internet connection. Several of these can be dark fiber, and at least 1 gigabyte connections are definitely dedicated to Wi-Fi alone at schools. So dark fiber actually refers to unused fiber optic cable. Oftentimes companies lay more lines than what's needed in order to curb cost of having to do it again and again. The dark strands can be leased to individuals or other companies who want to establish optical connections among their own locations. In this case, the fiber is neither controlled by nor connected to the phone company. Instead, the company or an individual provides the necessary components to make it functional. This ensures reliability and continuity of service throughout the school day, which proves that redundancy is imperative to technology services. Also, utilizing a load balancer, multiple routers, and firewalls just provide another layer of protection against issues that could potentially slow the internet connection in FCS schools. For the technology planning process analysis, there were 4 major strengths: continuous improvement, learner profile, stakeholder input, and the strategic plan. In the early 1990s, Forsyth County was beginning to experience rapid population growth due to people moving from the city into the suburbs. Many parents and community leaders began to complain about the quality of education and lack of technology within the classroom. So the members of the Forsyth County Chamber of Commerce were actually concerned with students leaving high school and being competent to join their workforce. So they led the initial movement for overall school improvement and involved stakeholders throughout the county. The Chamber of Commerce spearheaded a movement to improve FCS by donating money for technology, advocating for educational technology initiatives, and campaigning for eSPLOS taxes, which directly affect technology and increase our 21st century skills for students. The district created a learner profile, which encompasses what students should be able to do upon successful graduation from Forsyth County schools. They also emphasized the effective use of technology for accessing information and to display learning. The current strategic plan is the district's 4th plan and was developed with community and staff input using multiple methods, which include one-on-one conversations, focus groups, meetings, and online input. The 2013-16 strategic plan includes 5 major areas for improvement: instruction, human resources, facility and safety services, technology services, and operational services. Immediately following the approval of this strategic plan, they also began 4 major initiatives: continuous improvement process, long-term planning, leadership development, and measuring of results, which would be CCRPI. The weaknesses noticed were theoretical perspective, ongoing support for professional learning, and effective use of technology. My recommendations to address these would be to narrow the focus to 1 to 2 specific theoretical perspectives, just to help guide the integration of technology within education. In-service teachers in particular often lack the time to take extensive courses, which in addition generally offer insufficient follow-up guidance to facilitate and sustain the teacher's use of the technology in the classroom. A potentially more accessible way to support technology integration is to provide teachers with technology-infused lesson plans that guide the preparation and delivery of a lesson. That's according to Jansen and Lisander. Continuous support at the building level will increase teachers' confidence and use of technology to meet the school and district improvement goals, along with increasing the CCRPI score. According to Davidson, Richardson, and Jones, they suggest that the underuse of technology is actually a global problem that reaches far beyond the boundaries of just the United States. These can be barriers such as inadequate training, funding, equipment, facilities, and even curriculum. They all had major impacts on integrating technology and curriculum. The barriers to using technology as a regular instructional strategy are integrating it in its found global education settings that are having these problems. That reveals an implication of social change. And the challenge for our education system is to leverage teaching and learning by creating engaging and relevant experiences for students using technology in authentic and meaningful ways. The technology planning content analysis part is going to be using the International Society for Technology and Education, or ISTE, essential conditions. These are basically 14 essential elements or critical elements necessary to effectively leverage technology for learning. They offer educators and school leaders a research-backed framework that will guide implementation of the standards, technology planning, and system-wide change. So here's a list of multiple strengths that were noted for this case study. I'll go through several. Shared vision. According to the strategic plan, the technology department promotes proactive leadership by working with district departments and schools to help develop a system plan to transition into digital instructional resources and assessments. Empowered leaders. Stakeholders at every level are agents of change. And FCS supports and emphasizes the importance of stakeholder input by soliciting feedback from all stakeholders. The district uses online surveys, local school councils, board meetings, climate surveys, and social media to communicate the need for stakeholder input on important issues. Consistent and adequate funding. FCS funding is supported through community-funded referendums, such as BOND and SPLOST, to maintain ongoing funding for technology infrastructure, digital resources, and staff development. However, these referendums cannot be utilized for operational costs such as personnel. And according to FCS State of Schools in 2015-16, Forsyth County Schools elected to operate as an Investing in Educational Excellence, or IE² school system, and entered into an initial 5-year partnership contract with the State Board of Education in August of 2009. And they have recently re-updated that contract, and they are going into that partnership again with another 5-year contract. Equitable access. The Technology Services Department will support capacity by working with district departments and schools to develop a system plan to transition into those digital instructional resources and assessments. They will also invest in the infrastructure and the devices that will actually support that transition and continue the implementation of students leveraging Bring Your Own Technology, or BYOT, and district-provided equipment for equitable access. Skilled personnel. Educators, support staff, and other leaders learn how to select and effectively use appropriate information and communication technology, or ICT, resources, which help maximize learning and student success. Engaged communities. According to our strategic plan, the Communications Department is responsible for creating and maintaining partnerships with all stakeholders, such as parents, businesses, and community agencies. And these partnerships are key in developing support for the funding and use of ICT and digital learning resources. Weaknesses that were noted are ongoing professional learning, curriculum framework, and assessment and evaluation. The ongoing professional learning was due to a lack of participant choice, the quality of topics, and was it personalized learning based on the teacher's needs, and just the enforcement of department-level professional learning. Curriculum and framework lacked knowledge about student technology standards that would align with the learner profile and 21st century skills, and the lack of alignment of professional learning activities to the ISTE standards. For assessment and evaluation, it was a lack of ongoing support for professional learning topics, training on appropriate selection of ICT and digital resources, and the evaluation of the use of ICT and digital resources. So my recommendations for ongoing professional learning. FCS needs to partner with business and community leaders to increase the number of digital devices available for students to check out for the entire school year. Another recommendation would be to find alternative ways to provide access to the internet in low-income areas of the district. And according to the Georgia Department of Education State Technology Plan, the Georgia Board of Education officially adopted the National Education Technology Standards for Students, or NETS-S, in April of 2011. For the curriculum framework, a recommendation is to create a common language surrounding technology for students, such as digital literacy, digital citizenship, and aligning the curriculum to NETS-S. Another recommendation would be to align all professional learning activities with NETS-S, which would help support appropriate selection of ICT and digital resources. The National Education Technology Plan suggests providing all educators, pre-service and in-service, with professional learning experiences powered by technology, which will increase their digital literacy and enable them to actually create compelling learning activities that improve learning and teaching, also assessment and instructional practices. For assessment and evaluation, a recommendation is to allow teachers to design professional learning opportunities within their own school and their district. These are going to be specifically aligned with technology expectations and are reflective of the connectivity and access to devices within their respective schools. And here are my recommendations or my references. Thank you for listening.